Today we are making chicken schnitzels. Easy, delicious, so make sure you stay till the end for an amazing recipe. 2 large skinless chicken breasts should give you from 6 to 8 schnitzels. Obviously depending on how big they are, just make sure that you trim some of that fat because it's not really needed. I usually like to cut them slightly thinner right from the beginning because I don't have to tenderize them that much later on. Other recipes will tell you that the schnitzel should be slightly thicker, but it all comes to preference, but just bear in mind that you'll need to cook it for a longer period of time. After you got the chicken breast sliced, place it on the chopping board. Cover it with cling film, this will ensure that we keep the mess to minimum. This also helps during tenderizing because it keeps a nice even layer of meat without breaking it apart. As seasoning for this recipe, I'm gonna combine into a bowl the following. About 1 tablespoon of salt, a quarter of tablespoon of freshly grounded black pepper, half teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now bear in mind that you might not need all this seasoning for this recipe, but that's fine, we can use it in future recipes. After you tenderize the chicken, make sure you sprinkle a good pinch of seasoning on both sides of the breast. Continue tenderizing the rest of the meat, placing it one on top of another, but just make sure that the seasoning is on point, otherwise you're not gonna get good results. And as mentioned at the beginning, you're probably not gonna use all the seasoning on today's recipe. As you can see, we probably use about 3/4 from what we prepared. To prepare the dredge for the schnitzel, we need 3 whole eggs, and only a touch of seasoning, a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper, because the rest we added over the meat and that should be enough. Same for the dredge, in 2 separate plates I'm adding 150 grams of panko breadcrumbs. If you don't have panko breadcrumbs, don't worry and just use a normal one, and in the other plate I'm adding 100 grams of plain flour. To complete the panning process, you need to follow the following steps. First, you need to get the meat into the flour, making sure that it gets well coated into that flour, after that into the egg, and only after into the breadcrumbs. Take your time to make sure that you don't leave any patches of uncovered meat with any of these 3 ingredients and you will get the best results. Set a pan on medium heat and add about 300 ml of veg oil. Once the oil reaches about 180 degrees Celsius, you can go with the chicken straight into the pan. Now cook the schnitzels for 2 to 4 minutes on each side or until they start getting a nice golden brown color. Serve right after or even cold the following day, and if you enjoyed this recipe, check my post schnitzel recipe that's on the screen right now. And make sure you subscribe to the channel for more simple recipes like this.